This is the beginner C-Class review on the 2024 YZ250 two-stroke. We got about 30 minutes on this bike. It's very fast, a lot of power, but you can lug it and ride it. So I'm gonna throw up some videos of me riding it, and then I'll tell you more about the bike when I'm done. So I just got done riding this thing for about 30 more minutes. I really like it. It's very fast on the low end, but with the stock carb, it likes to tick a little at the low end, like tick, 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 tick. And when you're on the mid-range, it's got power galore. You can lug it all the way from low end to mid-range and have the same power as my 125. And on this thing, the high end, you're hauling if you're on the high end RPMs. The brakes are amazing. I love the brakes, the stock brakes. They're very strong and really good. The suspension, it's pretty stiff. Like, I'm 170 pounds and I'm not even close to coming to bottoming out. Like on the KTM, I bottom out a lot, but this thing, you don't really bottom out at all. And a lot of it's, if you want to keep this bike stock, it's a really nice stock bike. It's very stiff though, so you probably want to do suspension work if you're gonna keep this bike for a long time. But yeah, it's a nice bike. The front forks, very nice and stiff. If you like motocross or supercross, it's very good. You're not gonna bottom out on the big tables or doubles or anything. Doesn't really get too hot, stays nice and cool, the bike. That's a lot of the bike. It's very stiff and the bars are very low, because on most other bikes they're a lot higher than these ones, but it feels like you're a little bit farther down, which, I mean, it's personal preference. I like my bars a little higher, but this thing's a lot of fun. You can rip it. It's light. It's only, what is it again?
227.
227 pounds. It's
with 47 horsepower.
With 47 horse, yeah. It's what, 10 pounds heavier than my bike, and yeah, 125. So this thing's got 10 more horse, but it also weighs 10 more pounds, which that's power to weight. This thing's got a lot more power. smoking deal on this thing out at Yamaha Las Vegas. You could go down there and get yourself a pretty good deal. Show them guys some love. They're really nice down there. Pretty cool guys. Yep, they got us a pretty nice bike. We just made it back. We got all the bikes washed. We got the KTM and the YZ. This is the KTM 125 2024, and then this is the YZ 125 or 250. The difference between these two bikes, that's like as soon as you hop on, you can notice it immediately, is on this bike. It's way wider. It's like riding a big 450 with how wide the front fenders and the whole bike. It's a lot wider. And on this one, it's skinnier. It's like riding a little 125 Yamaha. It's a lot skinnier and smaller. And another difference I've noticed is on the shifter. It's a lot shorter. So when you go to downshift, you might click neutral or first gear a little. And then just the tires on this that come stock are huge. They're giant. They're very soft. They like to rip. And for this thing, it has a lot more power than the 125, obviously, because it's a 250. The suspension's soft or hard, versus this one, it's very soft. So if you're like 150 to 250, I'd pick the Yamaha any day over the 125 KTM. But if you're like a 10, 15-year-old that's like about 120 to 130, I'd pick the KTM. And both of these bikes are a lot better than buying a 4-stroke 250. Like it gives you a lot more technique, teaches you throttle control, how to ride a bike, versus on those you can learn how to ride it very easy because it's a 4-stroke. You can lug it and you'll get the same amount of power as if you're on the pipe with this thing. But if you just want a trail bike, I think the 250 is pretty good because you can lug it or you can get on the pipe. This thing is very wide compared to this. The weight for how wide this thing is, it's pretty light for how wide it is. And this is an aluminum frame. This isn't. This is full metal, which is same thing, but it's a lot heavier of a frame for a 125. It's only 10 pounds lighter, which the engine only weighs like 37 pounds. So it's a very heavy bike, but for a 125. But this thing's very light, very fast, pretty fun to ride actually. For a beginner rider, it's pretty perfect. Just got to dial in the suspension. It's not completely perfect for a beginner rider suspension wise, but other than that, like, it runs good, it feels good. It depends on your personal preference with how high and low the bars are. Like I said earlier, the bars are very low compared to these ones. You can even see it in the just by it sitting on the stand, the difference in bar size. Yep, they're very fun bikes. 2 strokes are the way to go in my opinion on these. So we got a Cowie 250 4-stroke. I'd pick the 2 strokes any day. These are really nice, really good bikes. The one downside to the Yamaha is it doesn't come with the stock kickstand. Well, this is a motorbike. This is the XC, so it's the Desert GP edition. So it comes with the stock kickstand, versus the Yamaha, it does not come stock. But the 2 strokes, the Cowie the KTM and the Yamaha are the way to go for GP. Like if you do works racing, NGCP, or anything, or even probably Moran, it'd be the way to go. These are one of the best types of bikes for that type of racing, because you got high-end power, you got big jumps on those racing, and you got long straightaways, and these bikes are the way to go. I mean, that's all I can really say. Like compared to a 4-stroke, it's got a lot of power. I mean, you're obviously not going to be able to keep up with like a 450, because those have power insane amounts, but you'd be able to learn the bike and learn control a lot better on these. There's one more downside to having the Yamaha 252 stroke compared to the 4-stroke, is there's no electric start or fuel injection. Which, I mean, if you know how to tune a carb, it runs really nice, really fun. Or you could get the smart carb, then you don't have to do anything with the carb, really. It does it itself. And then the electric start kit, it's pretty spendy. I mean, if you're an old dude that falls down all the time, then I mean, it's probably worth it. It's $1,000 though, so that's, I don't know if you should buy that or not. We don't have it, so I can't give you any information on that. But that's one more downside to this bike. Well, that's my rundown on the brand new YZ250. I really like it as a C-Class rider. It's very good for my skill level. And I hope to see you guys out at the next works race.